He didn't shout it. That's what I remember most. The dishwasher was running. The kids are upstairs arguing about whose turn it is with the tablet. Damon leans against the counter like he's discussing groceries. You're not family anymore. No build-up. No fight. Just a sentence placed carefully between us. I wait for my body to react the way it's supposed to. Anger. Shock. Something loud enough to match the words. Instead, I notice the clock on the microwave blinking 9:42. I notice the cabinet door hanging slightly crooked. I notice how calm he looks. He expects something. A tear. A raised voice. A defense. What does that even mean, maybe? But I don't ask. I say, okay. It isn't brave. It isn't strategic. It's just the only word that doesn't feel like begging. His eyebrows lift. That's it. That's it. Silence stretches between us, and for the first time in months, I see confusion in his face instead of certainty. Because Damon understands arguments. He understands emotional reactions. He understands how to twist words until they bend into whatever shape he needs. He does not understand absence. He pushes off the counter and walks past me, shoulder brushing mine just hard enough to register. You always do this, he mutters. Do what? I want to ask. But I don't. Upstairs, Malik laughs at something on the screen. Imani's voice follows, high and sharp. Life is continuing without consulting us. Family. It's strange how that word changes weight depending on who's holding it. For years, Damon introduced me as his partner, his balance, the one who kept things steady. Somewhere along the way, steady turned into support. Support turned into background. Background turned into optional. I didn't notice the shift when it was happening. Most erosion doesn't announce itself. It shows up in jokes, in introductions, in small decisions made without you, in your name disappearing from forms you didn't know were being edited. Standing there in that kitchen, I understand something without fully admitting it. The sentence isn't new. It has just finally been said out loud. And if he believes I'm not family anymore, arguing about it won't change his mind. But clarity might. That night, after the house goes quiet and Damon falls asleep with his phone in his hand, I open my notes app. Not to write a speech. Just to write down exactly what he said. The first time Damon says it, he doesn't raise his voice. We're standing in the kitchen, and the rice cooker has just clicked off. Steam rolls up against the cabinet light. He leans back against the counter like he's explaining something obvious. You're not family anymore. Not loud. Not angry. Just decided. I think about how strange it is that the refrigerator keeps humming. Like appliances don't know when something ends. I don't argue. I say, okay. And that bothers him more than if I had screamed. He steps forward. His hand touches the counter between us, fingers spread. That's all you're going to say? What should I say? I don't know, Alana. Something. But there isn't something. There's just the sentence he put in the air and the space it made. He's waiting for me to fill that space. To ask what I did wrong. To promise I'll be better. To make this easier for him by turning it into a fight he can win. I turn toward the sink instead. There are dishes from dinner, Imani's plate with the crusts cut off, Malik's cup still half full of juice going warm. You're really just going to ignore this? Damon says behind me. I run water over a fork. I'm not ignoring it. Then what are you doing? Listening. He exhales sharply. It's the sound he makes when I'm not performing correctly. When I'm supposed to be upset and I'm not giving him the reaction he needs. You know what? He says. Fine. Do whatever you want. He leaves the kitchen. I hear his footsteps on the stairs, uneven and frustrated. Upstairs, a door closes. Not slammed. Just closed with intention. I dry the fork and put it away. Then the plate. Then the cup. My hands are steady. That bothers me more than his words did. I should feel something larger. Something that matches the moment. But all I feel is a strange, distant clarity, like watching myself from across the room. I pick up my phone. Open the Notes app. Type, September 14th. 9:47 p.m. Kitchen. You're not family anymore. I stare at the words on the screen. Then I add, calm. No prior argument. Kids upstairs. I don't know why I'm doing this. Or maybe I do, and I'm not ready to admit it yet. I save the note. Upstairs, I hear Damon's voice through the bedroom door, low and animated. He's on the phone with someone. Probably his brother. Probably explaining how unreasonable I'm being. I check on the kids instead. Malik is asleep with his tablet still glowing beside him. I move it to the nightstand and pull his blanket up. Imani is awake, staring at the ceiling. Mom? Yeah, baby. Are you and Dad fighting? No. It sounded like you were. We were just talking. She rolls onto her side, facing the wall. Okay. I sit on the edge of her bed. You good? She nods into her pillow. I stay a little longer, just in case she wants to say something else. She doesn't. Downstairs, I sit on the couch in the dark. The house settles around me, pipes ticking, the hum of the refrigerator, distant traffic. Damon's voice is still going upstairs. I can't make out words, just tone. Justified. Aggrieved. I open my phone again. Look at the note. You're not family anymore. The sentence doesn't hurt less when I read it. But it does something else. It clarifies. In the early years, Damon used to brag about how steady I was. Alana doesn't panic, he'd tell people. She's built for storms. I work as a claims processor for a regional insurance firm, paperwork, patterns, quiet precision. Damon calls it boring but dependable. He's the charismatic one. Marketing consultant. Big ideas. Big energy. Always one presentation away from breaking through. We balance each other, or at least that's what it looks like. We meet at a networking event in Silver Spring. I'm there because my boss thinks I need to get out more. Damon's there because he's always there, working the room, collecting business cards, laughing too loud in a way that somehow works. He corners me by the drinks table. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else, he says. I would. He grins. Honest. I like that. 3 months later, we're dating. 6 months after that, he's introducing me to his family at a cookout in Prince George's County. His mother pulls me aside in the kitchen. You're good for him, she says. He needs someone who won't let him float away. I don't know what to say to that, so I just smile. Damon proposes on a Tuesday. No fanfare. We're sitting in his car after dinner, and he pulls out a ring he says he's been carrying for 2 weeks. I don't need a big moment, he says. I just need you to say yes. I do. The wedding is small. His family fills most of the seats. Mine is just my mother and my aunt from Atlanta who flies in for the weekend. At the reception, Damon gives a toast. Alana's the foundation, he says, raising his glass. I'm the vision. Together, we're unstoppable. Everyone claps. I notice he says foundation the way some people say basement. But I ignore it. Malik arrives 11 months later. Imani 2 years after that. Damon talks about legacy a lot during this time. Building something that matters. Leaving a mark. I'm on maternity leave, nursing Imani at 3 in the morning, when he tells me about a campaign idea he thinks could change everything. You believe in me, right? He asks. Of course. Because I need you to believe in me. I do. He kisses my forehead. Goes back to his laptop. The shift doesn't come with betrayal or scandal. It comes with applause. When one of his campaigns goes viral locally, a series of videos for a nonprofit that gets picked up by a news outlet, something subtle changes. He starts introducing me differently. This is Alana. She handles the backend stuff. Backend stuff. At first, I think it's harmless phrasing. Then it becomes identity. At his cousin's cookout, someone asks what I do. I start answering and Damon cuts in. She keeps the lights on so I can chase legacy. Everybody laughs like it's charming. I smile because Imani is sitting on the cooler beside me, watching. Later in the car, I say, you make it sound like I'm just support. He shrugs. You are support. That's not an insult. It felt like one. That's you being sensitive. I look out the window. Maybe. He reaches over and squeezes my hand. You know I couldn't do this without you, right? Right. But the conversation doesn't close. It just pauses. After that, I start noticing the pattern. At a work event of his, someone asks about my job. Damon answers before I can. She's in insurance. Very stable. Very practical. The person nods politely and turns back to Damon. At a family dinner, his brother asks if I'm still working. Of course, I say, Damon laughs. Alana doesn't believe in taking breaks. She's too responsible. Responsible. Practical. Steady. Words that sound like compliments but land like limits. One night, I bring it up again. Do you realize you always reframe what I do? Reframe? You make it sound smaller than it is. He sets his phone down. I'm proud of you, Alana. I tell people that all the time. You tell them I'm dependable. You are. That's not the same as proud. He stares at me for a long moment. Then he picks his phone back up. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't either. So I stop saying it. The public minimization starts small. At Damon's mother's birthday dinner, his aunt asks what I've been up to. I mention a process improvement I implemented at work, something that cut claim review time by nearly 20%. It's not glamorous, but it mattered. Damon laughs from across the table. Alana and her spreadsheets. His aunt smiles. Well, someone's got to keep things organized. That's what I keep telling her, Damon says. She's the organized one. I'm the dreamer. The conversation moves on. I sit there holding my fork. At a neighborhood gathering in someone's backyard, a woman I've met twice asks how we manage 2 careers and 2 kids. I start to answer. Damon jumps in. Honestly, Alana makes it look easy. She's got that superhero gene where she can just handle everything without complaining. The woman looks impressed. That's amazing. It is, Damon says, putting his arm around me. I don't know what I'd do without her handling the day-to-day stuff. Day-to-day stuff. Like my job is meal prep and laundry. I smile because people are watching. Later, in the car, I don't smile. You did it again. Did what? Made it sound like all I do is manage logistics. Damon keeps his eyes on the road. That's not what I said. You said I handle the day-to-day stuff. You do. So do you. Yeah, but I also handle the big picture. I turn toward the window. My reflection stares back, blurred by passing streetlights. What's the big picture? I ask. Vision. Strategy. Growth. And what am I handling? He sighs. Why are you making this a thing? I'm not making it anything. I'm asking a question. You're being sensitive again. That word. Again. Sensitive. Like my feelings are a malfunction. When we get home, he goes upstairs without saying anything else. I stay in the kitchen, unloading the kids' water bottles from the diaper bag. Malik wanders in, dragging his blanket. Mom, are you sad? No, baby. I'm fine. Dad said you were upset. I crouch down to his level. Did he? Malik nods. He said you get upset sometimes about little things. I keep my face still. What else did he say? That it's okay. That you just need space. I pull him into a hug, so he won't see my expression. I'm not upset, I say into his hair. I promise. He hugs me back, small and trusting. After I put him to bed, I find Damon in our room, scrolling on his phone. You told Malik I was upset? He doesn't look up. He asked. He's 6. So you don't explain adult conflicts to a 6-year-old. Now he looks up. I didn't explain a conflict. I told him you were fine, just emotional sometimes. Emotional. Yeah. I stand there, trying to find the exact right words. The ones that won't sound sensitive or emotional or any of the other things he's already decided I am. Don't do that again, I say. Do what? Use the kids as a sounding board for your version of me. He sets his phone on the nightstand. My version of you? Alana, I said you were fine. After calling me emotional. You are emotional. That's not an insult. It is when you say it like a diagnosis. He exhales through his nose. Shakes his head. I can't do this right now. Do what? This. Whatever this is. I had a long day, and I'm not interested in dissecting every word I said. He turns off his lamp. I'm still standing. Damon. Good night, Alana. Not angry. Just done. I go back downstairs. Sit on the couch in the dark. Open my notes app. October 2nd. Neighborhood party. Day-to-day stuff. Kids present. October 2nd. Home. Told Malik I was emotional. I save it. Upstairs, the house is silent. No apology coming down the stairs. No acknowledgement that anything happened. Just the hum of the refrigerator and the weight of words I'm not supposed to question. After that night, I start paying attention to how I ask questions. If I bring up bills, I'm negative. If I question a purchase, I don't believe in him. If I get quiet, I'm withdrawing love. Every normal conversation becomes a referendum on my character. Damon buys a new laptop without mentioning it. I notice it on the kitchen table when I get home from work. When did you get that? He doesn't look up from the screen. Today. The old one was dying. How much was it? Does it matter? We usually talk about big purchases. He closes the laptop. See, this is what I'm talking about. What? This energy. This negativity. I asked a question. You asked it like an accusation. I set my bag down. I just wanted to know how much it cost. Because you don't trust me. That's not. It is, Alana. Every time I invest in myself, you make it about money. Like I'm being irresponsible. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. He picks up the laptop and walks past me. I stand there in the kitchen, replaying the conversation, trying to find the part where I accused him of anything. I can't. A week later, I mentioned that Imani needs new shoes. She's growing fast, and her sneakers are too tight. Damon is scrolling through his phone at the table. Can you grab them this weekend? I ask. I've got a client thing Saturday. What about Sunday? I need Sunday to recover. I'll be drained. Okay, I'll get them. He looks up. Why do you sound like that? Like what? Like I'm disappointing you. I don't sound like anything. I said I'd get them. But the way you said it. I stare at him. How should I say it? Not like I'm failing you. I turn back to the dishes. I'll get the shoes, Damon. He doesn't respond. Just goes back to his phone. That night, when I'm folding laundry, he appears in the doorway. You know what your problem is? I don't answer. You don't support growth. You support control. I keep folding. Okay. See? That right there. Okay. Like you're humoring me. What do you want me to say? I want you to actually engage. To care about what I'm building instead of policing every move I make. I set down the towel I'm holding. I'm not policing you. You are. Every question is an audit. Every conversation is an interrogation. I asked about a laptop. And shoes. And bills. And schedules. You're always keeping score. My hands go still. I'm keeping us organized. No. You're keeping me in check. The words sit between us, sharp and deliberate. I want to argue. To list every time I've supported him. Every late night I stayed up listening to his ideas. Every event I attended. Every doubt I swallowed. But I already know what will happen. He'll reframe it. My support will become control. My questions will become criticism. My silence will become withdrawal. So I just say, I'm not doing this right now. Of course you're not. He leaves. I finish folding the laundry in silence. Later, I check my phone. There's a message in the family group chat. Damon sent a meme about overthinkers. His brother responds with laughing emojis. His cousin comments, facts. I don't reply. At work the next day, I eat lunch alone in my car. I pull up our bank account. The laptop was $2,400. We talked about saving for Imani's dental work. That conversation happened 3 days before he bought the laptop. I screenshot the transaction. Save it to a folder I label household. When I get home, Damon is cheerful. He's ordered takeout. The kids are happy. He asks about my day. I answer normally. He doesn't mention the laptop. Or the conversation from the night before. It's like it didn't happen. Except I know it did. And I'm starting to understand that the problem isn't what I say. It's that I say anything at all. That night, I shift everything to text. When I need to ask about schedules, I send a message. When bills are due, I send a reminder. When something needs discussion, I don't bring it up verbally. I create a record. Damon notices after a few days. Why are you texting me when I'm in the next room? It's easier to keep track. He stares at me. Keep track of what? Conversations. We're married, Alana. Not coworkers. I know. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. You building a case or something? I don't answer. Because I don't know yet. The kids feel it before I do. Malik stops asking me questions when Damon is in the room. He'll start to say something, glance at his father, then look back at me and shake his head. Never mind. Imani starts watching our faces during dinner like she's waiting for instructions. One night, Damon decides basketball practice is moving to Wednesdays. I find out when Malik mentions it at breakfast. Wait, I say. Practice is on Thursdays. Dad changed it, Malik says, spooning cereal. I look at Damon. When did that happen? Last week. The new coach wanted a different night. You didn't tell me. I'm telling you now. I have a standing meeting on Wednesdays. I do Thursdays because. So I'll handle it, Damon says. Problem solved. Malik's eyes move between us. I keep my voice level. It would have been helpful to know ahead of time. Noted. He stands, takes his coffee, leaves the kitchen. Malik goes very still. It's fine, baby, I tell him. Eat your breakfast. But he doesn't look convinced. 2 weeks later, I get an email from Imani's school. They're updating emergency contact information. I click the link to review our form. My name isn't listed first anymore. Damon is primary contact. I'm secondary. I refresh the page, thinking it's in error. It's not. I forward the email to Damon. When did you change this? He responds an hour later. They asked who is more available. I am. You didn't think to discuss it? It's just a form, Alana. It's not just a form. He doesn't reply. That afternoon, I call the school. The secretary is apologetic but firm. Mr. Harris updated it last month. If you'd like to change it back, you'll both need to come in and sign. Both of us. Yes, ma'am. School policy. I thank her and hang up. At pickup, Damon is already there. He's leaning against his car, talking to another parent. Imani runs to him first. When I walk over, he glances at me briefly. Hey, we need to talk about the contact form. Not here, he says quietly. When? Later. He buckles Imani into his car. I have Malik. When I try to bring it up that evening, Damon is already in the bedroom with the door closed. On a call. I wait. An hour later, he comes out. About the school form. I don't have time for this right now, he says, heading downstairs. I follow. You removed me as primary contact without asking. I didn't remove you. I updated the priority. By making yourself first. Because I have more flexibility. You don't. He stops at the bottom of the stairs. Alana, you work 8 to 5. I make my own schedule. You're in meetings constantly. Meetings I can move. Then why didn't you move them when Malik had that dentist appointment and I had to leave work early? His jaw tightens. That was one time. It was 3 times last semester. You're keeping count? I'm remembering. He shakes his head. This is exactly what I mean. You turn everything into evidence. Because you keep changing things without telling me. I'm trying to make things easier. For who? He doesn't answer that. Instead, he says, the kids need consistency. I'm providing that. By cutting me out of decisions? By making decisions instead of waiting for you to approve every detail. The sentence lands cold. I don't need to approve anything, I say quietly. I need to know what's happening with my children. Our children. Then act like it. He walks past me into the kitchen. Opens the refrigerator. Stands there looking at nothing. I'm the one who takes them to practices, he says. I'm the one who talks to the coaches. I'm the one who shows up. I show up. When it's convenient. My hands curl into fists at my sides. I work, Damon. That's not the same as not showing up. And I don't. That's not what I said. But it's what you meant. He closes the refrigerator. Looks at me like I'm someone he's trying to solve. You know what I think, he says. I think you're mad I don't need your permission anymore. He leaves the kitchen. I stand there, breathing carefully. Upstairs, Imani calls for help with her homework. I go. She's sitting on her bed with a math worksheet. Dad said you'd help me. Of course. We work through the problems together. She's distracted, erasing more than writing. Mom? Yeah. Is Dad gonna pick me up from school now? Sometimes. We both will. But he's first. I pause. What do you mean? On the paper. Dad showed me. He's first. She says it like it's a fact. Not a question. You have 2 parents, I tell her. Both of us are here for you. She nods, but she looks uncertain. That night, I open a new document on my laptop. I list every schedule change. Every form. Every decision made without me. Dates. Details. Screenshots. Not out of revenge. Out of proof. Because I'm starting to realize that what Damon says and what actually happens are two different archives. And only one of them is documented. I open a separate checking account on a Tuesday morning. Online. During my lunch break. No ceremony. I move half of what's in our joint savings. My half. The amount I've contributed over the past year based on my salary. It takes 11 minutes. When I update my direct deposit, I split it. 50% to the joint account. 50% to the new one. I don't tell Damon. Not out of spite. Out of structure. If I'm not family anymore, then I'm a financial unit. And units operate independently. That weekend, I pay my share of the mortgage. Not his. Not the full amount like I've been doing when his income dips. Just mine. I transfer the exact amount. Leave a note in the memo. April mortgage, A. Harris. He doesn't notice immediately. It takes a week. A vendor payment bounces. Someone he hired for a campaign project. The guy calls him Saturday morning, voice loud enough that I can hear it from the kitchen. Damon comes downstairs holding his phone like it's evidence. What did you do? I'm making Amani's lunch for a play date. What do you mean? The account. There's not enough in the account. For what? For the payment I scheduled. I spread peanut butter evenly across the bread. I paid the mortgage. Just the mortgage? My half. He stares at me. Your half. Yes. What about the rest? That's your half. His face shifts. Confusion first. Then something sharper. Are you serious right now? Yes. Alana, we don't split bills 50-50. We're married. We pool resources. I cut the sandwich diagonally. We were pooling. I adjusted. Adjusted to what? To the reality you described. What reality? I look at him. I'm not family anymore. Remember? He goes very still. So I'm treating this like a household expense arrangement, I continue. I pay my portion. You pay yours. You're sabotaging me. I'm separating responsibilities. That's the same thing. No, it's not. He steps closer. You know my income fluctuates. That's how consulting works. You've always understood that. I did understand it. When I was family. Stop saying that. You said it first. He presses his palms against the counter. Breathes out slowly. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? He doesn't answer. Imani appears in the doorway, backpack on. I'm ready. I hand her the lunch. Go wait in the car, baby. I'll be right there. She glances at Damon, then leaves. When she's gone, Damon tries a different tone. Softer. You're really going to do this? Do what? Punish me financially because your feelings got hurt. My feelings aren't relevant. You made a boundary clear. I'm respecting it. By pulling money out of our accounts? My money. From my account. We're married. Then act like it. The words hang between us. He doesn't have a response for that. I pick up my keys. I'm taking Amani to Sophia's house. I'll be back in an hour. We're not done talking. I think we are. I leave him standing in the kitchen. When I return, he's in the bedroom. Door closed. I hear his voice through it, low, urgent. Another phone call. Probably explaining to someone how unreasonable I'm being. The next morning, he's careful. Polite. He asks if I want coffee. Offers to take the kids to their Sunday activities. At breakfast, he tries again. I think we should talk about what happened yesterday. Okay. I don't think splitting finances helps us. It helps me. How? Clarity. He sets his mug down. Alana, I get that you're upset. But marriage isn't transactional. I agree. Then why are you treating it like a business arrangement? Because you treated me like an employee. He blinks. I never. You did. Backend stuff. Day-to-day management. Keeps the lights on. You've been positioning me as support staff for months. That's not. And when support staff isn't family, they get a paycheck and boundaries. His face changes. Not anger. Something closer to alarm. So what is this? You're going to financially separate until I apologize. I'm going to financially separate until I understand what kind of household this is. What does that mean? It means I need to know if I'm a partner or a service provider. You're my wife. Then stop treating me like I'm contracted help. He stares at me. Malik wanders into the kitchen, dragging his blanket. Damon shifts immediately. Smile appears. Voice lightens. Hey, bud. Want pancakes? Malik nods. Damon starts pulling ingredients out of the cabinet, moving with exaggerated cheerfulness. I watch him perform normalcy. Later, when the kids are watching a movie, he finds me in the laundry room. You could have just talked to me, he says quietly. I did. When? Multiple times. You reframed every conversation. Because you were accusing me. I was asking questions. He leans against the door frame. You've changed. I fold a towel. No. I clarified. Clarified what? My position. He's quiet for a moment. Then, I don't know how to fix this. I set the towel in the basket. I'm not asking you to fix it. Then what are you asking? Nothing. And that, more than anything else I've said, seems to unsettle him most. Because Damon understands requests. He does not understand withdrawal. The blocked pickup happens on a Saturday. I'm scheduled to get the kids at 2. We agreed on it 3 days ago via text. I have the message saved. At 1:55, I pull up to the house. The driveway is full. Damon's car. His brother's truck. I can hear voices in the backyard, a gathering I didn't know about. I text, I'm here. He responds immediately, kids are tired. Let them rest today. I read it twice. We agreed on 2 p.m. Plans changed. They had a long morning. I call. He doesn't answer. I get out of the car and walk to the front door. Ring the bell. Damon's brother answers. Oh. Hey, Alana. I'm here for the kids. He glances back into the house. Let me get Damon. Damon appears a moment later, phone in hand. Relaxed. Hey, I'm here to pick up Malik and Imani. Yeah, I texted you. They're wiped out. It's better if they stay here today. That's not what we agreed to. I'm making a judgment call. As their father. Behind him, I can see into the living room. Malik is on the couch with a tablet. Not tired. Just watching something. Can I talk to them? They're fine, Alana. I'd like to see them. His expression shifts. Still calm, but colder. You can see them tomorrow. Today is my scheduled day. And I'm telling you they need rest. Based on what? Based on the fact that I'm with them and you're not. His brother shifts uncomfortably behind him. I keep my voice level. I'm not leaving without seeing them. Yes, you are. Damon. You're being dramatic. They're fine. Go home. He starts to close the door. I put my hand against it. I want to talk to Malik and Imani. And I said no. We stand there, door half closed between us. I remove my hand. Okay. He searches my face, looking for the reaction he expected. Anger. Tears. A scene. Instead, I turn and walk back to my car. He calls after me. Alana. I don't stop. In the car, I sit for a moment. Hands on the steering wheel. Then I pull out my phone. Screenshot the text exchange. Note the time. 2:03 p.m. Right? Denied access. No emergency. No explanation. Kids visible and not distressed. I drive to the public library. Find a quiet corner. Open my laptop. I've been organizing files for weeks. Saving texts. Logging incidents. Not because I wanted to. Because I knew. I just didn't want to admit what I knew. Now I print everything. Schedule changes without notice. Form modifications without consent. Financial decisions made unilaterally. Messages where he contradicts himself. Photos of the kid's calendar, his version, which doesn't match mine. I stack the pages carefully. Then I search for family attorneys in the area. I don't want a fighter. I don't want someone who promises to destroy him. I want someone who understands documentation. I find a firm with good reviews. Steady language. No dramatic promises. I call Monday morning during my break. The receptionist asks what kind of case. Custody structure, I say. And asset clarification. Are you separated? Not officially. But you're living apart? No. We're in the same house. There's a pause. Okay. Let me get you scheduled for a consultation. The appointment is set for Thursday. I don't tell Damon. On Tuesday he texts, can we talk? About? Saturday. I think we both overreacted. I didn't react. Exactly. That's the problem. I don't respond. Wednesday, he tries softness. He brings coffee to my office at home. Sets it on my desk without saying anything. I look at it. Then at him. Thank you. You're welcome. He lingers. We good? He asks. About what? Everything. No. His jaw tightens. What do you want from me, Alana? Nothing. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. He leaves the coffee and walks out. Thursday afternoon, I meet with the attorney. Her name is Patricia. She's older, calm. She doesn't interrupt when I talk. I show her the documentation. She pages through it quietly. How long has this been happening? She asks. Months. Escalating. And you've tried to address it? Multiple times. He reframes every conversation. She nods. That's common. What is? Control through communication manipulation. It creates instability. Makes you question your own perceptions. I sit back. I'm not imagining it. I know. That sentence lands differently than I expected. She explains the process. Custody evaluation. Parenting plan. Communication protocols. This isn't about punishment, she says. It's about structure. Clear expectations. Accountability. Will it be ugly? That depends on him. If he cooperates, it can be straightforward. If he resists, he'll resist. She doesn't argue. Then we document everything. And we let the system do what emotions can't. I leave her office with a folder of forms. That night, Damon is home when I arrive. He's made dinner. Set the table. The kids are already eating. Hey, he says. I made your favorite. I look at the table. Roasted chicken. Green beans. Rice. Thanks. I sit down. He watches me serve myself. Good day. Fine. Anything interesting happen? I meet his eyes. No. He knows I'm lying. But he can't prove it. And that finally is the point. The paperwork arrives at the house on a Tuesday afternoon. Damon is home. I'm at work when he calls. What the hell is this? I'm in the middle of reviewing a claim file. What's what? The court documents. On our doorstep. I close the file. Oh. Oh? That's all you have to say? What would you like me to say? That this is insane. That you're not actually taking me to court over a custody schedule. I'm formalizing structure. We live in the same house. For now. Silence. Then, you're serious. Yes. Over what? Because I made one decision you didn't like. It wasn't one decision. Alana. I have to go. I'm at work. I hang up. He calls back immediately. I don't answer. He texts. We need to talk about this. We will. Through the process. This is insane. This is clear. You're destroying our family over nothing. I don't respond to that one. When I get home that evening, he's waiting in the living room. Calm. Too calm. The kids are at my mother's, he says. Okay. Sit down. I'd rather stand. Alana. Please. I sit on the edge of the chair across from him. He leans forward, hands clasped. I know I've made mistakes. I wait. I know I've said things I shouldn't have. And I know you feel like I've been dismissive. This isn't about my feelings. Then what is it about? Access. Decision-making. Transparency. He nods slowly. Okay. Fine. Let's establish that. But we don't need a court to do it. We've tried without court. You tried once. Then went straight to legal action. I tried multiple times. You reframed every conversation. Because you were attacking me. I was asking questions. He stands. Starts pacing. You know what this is going to do? It's going to cost us money we don't have. It's going to confuse the kids. It's going to put our business out there for strangers to judge. Our business is already being judged. By you. With no accountability. He stops pacing. I'm their father. So act like a co-parent instead of a supervisor. I am co-parenting. No. You're making decisions and informing me after. Because you're impossible to work with. There it is. The real position. Okay, I say. Okay. That's it again. What do you want me to say, Damon? I want you to admit you're overreacting. That this is extreme. That we can fix this without involving the state. Can we? Yes. How? He spreads his hands. We talk. We compromise. We co-parent like adults. We tried that. You changed the kids' schedules without telling me. You removed my name from forms. You denied me access to my children. One time. That you admit to. His face darkens. What does that mean? It means I don't know what else you've changed that I haven't discovered yet. So you assume the worst. I document what's provable. He stares at me. You've been building a case this whole time. I've been keeping records. That's the same thing. Only if you've been doing things worth recording. The silence stretches. He sits back down. Rubs his face. I don't want to do this. Neither do I. Then drop it. No. Alana. I need structure, Damon. Clear expectations. Something that doesn't depend on your mood or your memory or your version of events. I'm not the enemy. Then stop acting like my access to our children is a privilege you grant. He looks at me for a long time. You've changed, he says finally. I've clarified. No. You've become cold. I've become clear. It's the same thing. It's not. He shakes his head. I don't even recognize you anymore. Good, I say quietly. That surprises him. Good. The version you recognized was negotiable. This one isn't. The court date is set for 3 weeks later. Damon hires an attorney at the last minute. Someone his brother recommended. A guy who promises to shut this down fast. We sit in a conference room that smells like floor cleaner and stale coffee. The judge is a woman in her 50s. She looks tired. Damon's attorney goes first. He talks about how well-adjusted the kids are. How involved Damon is. How this is an unnecessary disruption to a functional family system. My client is a devoted father, he says. He's present. He's engaged. He makes decisions in the best interest of his children. Ms. Harris is weaponizing the court system due to personal grievances. The judge makes a note. Ms. Harris, your response? Patricia stands. Your Honor, we're not disputing Mr. Harris's involvement. We're requesting clarity around decision-making protocols and communication standards. She hands over the documentation. The judge pages through it. Slowly. Text exchanges. Schedule changes. Forms. Mr. Harris, she says, not looking up. Did you modify the children's school emergency contact information without discussing it with Ms. Harris? Damon's attorney stands. Your Honor, Mr. Harris updated the form to reflect his greater availability. I'm asking Mr. Harris. Damon clears his throat. Yes, Your Honor. But it was for practical reasons. And did you deny Ms. Harris access to the children on, she checks the document, April 16th? The children were tired. Were they ill? No, but... Was there an emergency? No. Was Ms. Harris behaving in a way that endangered the children? No, Your Honor. The judge sets the papers down. Then on what basis did you prevent a parent from exercising her custody time? Silence. Mr. Harris? I made a judgment call. Based on? He hesitates. Based on what I felt was best at the time. The judge looks at him over her glasses. Feelings are not custody protocols. She turns to Patricia. What are you requesting? A structured parenting plan with clear communication requirements. A shared custody calendar. Major decisions to require mutual consent. And the use of a co-parenting communication app to reduce ambiguity. The judge nods. Mr. Harris, do you object to any of these requests? His attorney leans over, whispers something. Damon looks at me across the room. I keep my face still. No, Your Honor, he says finally. The judge writes something. Then I'm ordering a formal parenting plan, joint legal custody with equal decision-making authority, and mandatory use of a court-approved communication platform. You'll receive the formal order within 2 weeks. Any violations will be addressed through contempt proceedings. She closes the folder. This isn't about winning or losing. This is about your children having access to both parents without confusion or manipulation. Understood? Yes, Your Honor, we both say. Outside the courthouse, Damon catches up to me in the parking lot. You happy now? I unlock my car. This isn't about happiness. Then what was it about? Accountability. He laughs, sharp and bitter. You got your structure. Hope it was worth it. It was. He starts to walk away. Then stops. You know what kills me? I wait. You could have just talked to me. I did, Damon. You weren't listening. Because you weren't saying anything I could hear. I get in my car. Through the window, I see him standing there. Not angry anymore. Just lost. I drive away. The communication app arrives as a notification 3 days later. Talking Parents account activated. Every message timestamped. Every exchange recorded. Every scheduled change documented automatically. No more verbal agreements that shift. No more, I thought you said, or you're remembering it wrong. Just proof. The first message Damon sends is polite. Picking up the kids at 3 p.m. on Friday per the schedule. I respond, confirmed. It feels strange. Formal. Like we're strangers coordinating a transaction. But that's the point. Friday comes. He's on time. The exchange happens in the driveway. Malik and Imani run to his car with their overnight bags. Damon nods at me. I'll have them back Sunday at 6. Okay. He pauses. Like he wants to say something else. He doesn't. The first week, his messages are careful. Measured. No editorializing. Just logistics. Malik has a dentist appointment Tuesday at 4. Can you take him or should I? I can take him. Okay, thanks. By the second week, I notice the shift. He starts adding please. Thank you. Small courtesies that weren't there before. Would it be possible to switch weekends? My mother wants to take the kids to a museum. Which weekend? The 15th. That works. Confirmed. Thank you. The third week, he tries warmth. The kids had a great time at the park today. Malik asked about you. I don't respond to that. It's not a logistics question. He tries again the next day. Imani drew you a picture. I'll send it home with her. Still not a question. Still no response needed. He stops adding those messages after that. At the next pickup, he lingers. You doing okay? He asks. I'm fine. The kids miss you when they're with me. I'm sure they do. They miss us. Together. I don't engage. He shifts his weight. Look, I know things have been structured. But it doesn't have to stay this way. The court order stays. I'm not talking about the court order. I'm talking about us. We can still be civil. Friendly, even. We are civil. You know what I mean. I don't. He exhales. I'm trying here, Alana. Trying what? To fix things. Things are fixed. We have clarity now. That's not what I mean. Then what do you mean? He looks at the house. At the kids playing in his back seat. At me. I mean, I miss you. The words sit between us. Okay, I say. His face falls. That's it? Okay. What do you want me to say? I want you to say you miss me too. Or that you're willing to try. Or literally anything that isn't this wall. I'm not putting up a wall. I'm maintaining boundaries. They feel the same to me. That's not my problem. He steps back like I physically pushed him. Wow. Damon. No, I get it. You've made your position clear. He gets in his car. Drives away without looking back. That night, Malik calls me on video chat. Hey, Mom. Hey, baby. You having fun with Dad? Yeah. We made tacos. That sounds good. He's quiet for a moment. Then, Mom, are you and Dad gonna live together again? I choose my words carefully. I don't know yet, sweetie. But you're still married. We are. Then why do you live in different houses now? I didn't know he'd noticed I'd been staying at my sister's apartment some nights. Getting space. Sometimes grown-ups need time to figure things out, I say. Figure out what? How to be better parents. You're already good parents. My throat tightens. Thank you, baby. Dad says you're mad at him. I pause. Did he? He said you're going through something and we should be patient. Going through something. Like this is a phase. A mood. Something that will pass if he waits long enough. I'm not mad, I tell Malik. I'm just making sure things are clear. What things? That you and Imani always have both of us. No matter what. He nods, but he looks uncertain. After we hang up, I stare at my phone. The next morning, I send Damon a message on the app. Please don't tell the kids I'm going through something. If they have questions about our arrangement, refer them to me. His response comes an hour later. I was trying to give them an explanation that made sense. They don't need your explanation. They need consistency. I'm trying to provide that. Then stop editorializing our situation to them. He doesn't respond. 2 days later, he tries a different approach. He sends flowers to my office. No card. Just flowers. I take a picture and send it to him on the app. Please don't send gifts to my workplace. They're just flowers. They're a gesture I didn't ask for. I can't even send you flowers now? Not without it meaning something. What if I want it to mean something? I close the app. The next exchange happens in person. Sunday evening. He pulls up with the kids. Imani runs to me. Malik follows more slowly, carrying his bag. Damon gets out of the car. Can we talk for a second? About? Not here. After the kids go inside. I wait until they're through the door. Then I turn to him. What? I need you to understand something, he says. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to control you. I'm just trying to, I don't know, reach you. You can reach me through the app. That's not what I mean. I know what you mean. And the answer is no. You didn't even let me ask. Because I already know the question. And the answer hasn't changed. He runs his hand over his face. Tired. Frustrated. You really won't even consider it? Trying again. Trying what? The same patterns with new promises? I've changed. Have you? Yes. Why? Because there's a court order now. He flinches. That's not fair. It's accurate. You know what I think, he says, voice dropping. I think you wanted this. I think you wanted the structure so you'd have an excuse not to work on us. There is no us to work on. You said so yourself. That was one sentence. One moment. I was stressed and I said something I didn't mean. You meant it. You just regret saying it out loud. That's not. It is, Damon. And now we have clarity. You don't have to wonder how I'll react. You don't have to manage my emotions. You just have to follow the schedule and communicate clearly. That's not a marriage. I know. The silence stretches. So that's it? He asks finally. We're just co-parents now? We're structured co-parents. Yes. He looks at me like he's trying to find something he recognizes. He doesn't. You know what's crazy, he says quietly. I thought if I gave you space, you'd soften. But you're just getting colder. I'm getting clearer. There's no difference. There is. You just can't see it yet. He gets back in his car. Sits there for a moment before starting the engine. Then he drives away. Inside, the kids are already in their rooms. The house is quiet. I sit on the couch in the dark. My phone buzzes. A message on the app. I didn't mean it like that. I don't ask what that refers to. Because it doesn't matter which sentence he's regretting now. They all meant something when he said them. And structure doesn't require forgiveness. Just consistency. 3 months into the new arrangement, Imani asks the question. We're at the kitchen table in my apartment. Smaller than the house. Quieter. She's coloring while I make dinner. She doesn't look up from her drawing when she says it. Mom, are we still family? I stopped chopping vegetables. What do you mean, baby? Like, you and me and Malik and Dad. Are we still a family? I put the knife down. Sit across from her. Yes, we are. But you don't live together. That's true. And you don't talk like you used to. I pause. What do you mean? You use that app thing. Dad showed me. He said it's so you don't fight. I make a mental note to address that later. The app helps us communicate clearly, I say. It's not about fighting. She finally looks up. Her eyes are serious. Too serious for 7. Sophia's parents got divorced. She has 2 houses now too. Your dad and I aren't divorced. But you might be. I don't lie to her. I don't know what will happen. But I know you and Malik will always have both of us. Sophia says her mom cries a lot. Do I cry a lot? She thinks about it. No. You're quiet. Is that bad? I don't know. Dad says you're going through something. There it is again. Your dad and I are figuring out how to be better parents, I say carefully. Sometimes that means things look different for a while. Different how? Different like, we make sure everything is clear. So nobody gets confused about schedules or rules or who's supposed to do what. She picks up a green crayon. Starts coloring grass. Dad says he misses you. My chest tightens. He told you that? He tells Malik. But I hear it. I breathe slowly. What does Malik say? Nothing. He just gets quiet. I watch her color. Precise. Staying inside the lines. Do you miss how things used to be? I ask. She doesn't answer right away. Then, sometimes. But sometimes it's nicer now. Nicer how? You don't look sad anymore. The words land heavier than she knows. I wasn't sad before, I say softly. You looked sad. When Dad talked, you'd get this face. She demonstrates, pressing her lips together, eyes down. I didn't know she'd been watching that closely. I'm sorry you saw that. It's okay. You don't do it anymore. She finishes the grass and starts on a son. Imani? Yeah. You know you can ask me anything, right? About me and Dad. About our family. About any of this. I know. And you know none of this is because of you or Malik. Dad says that too. Good. Because it's true. She adds rays to the sun. Mom? Yeah, baby. Can family be different shapes? The question surprises me. What do you mean? Like, Sophia has 2 houses. But she says she still has a family. It's just shaped different now. I pull her onto my lap. She's getting too big for this, but she allows it. Yes, I say into her hair. Family can be lots of different shapes. What shape are we? I think about it. I don't know yet. But we're still family. She leans against me. Okay. We stay like that until the timer goes off for dinner. That night, after the kids are asleep, I sit on my small balcony. The apartment overlooks a parking lot. Not scenic. But it's mine. My phone buzzes. The app. Can we talk? Not about logistics. Just talk. I stare at the message. My thumb hovers over the keyboard. Finally, I type, about what? About where we go from here. We have a parenting plan. That's where we go. I mean us. You and me. There is no you and me. There's co-parenting. The typing bubble appears. Disappears. Appears again. I know I messed up. I know I said things I can't take back. But I'm asking if there's any part of you that thinks we could try again. Eventually. I read it 3 times. Then I type, why? Because we have history. Because we have kids. Because I still. He stops typing. Starts again. Because I don't think I understood what I had until it was structured away from me. I set the phone down. Look out at the parking lot. At the streetlights. At the ordinary evening continuing without consulting us. I pick up the phone. You didn't lose me because of the court order. You lost me when you decided I wasn't family. The court order just made official what you already established. I didn't mean it. You said it. Multiple times. In multiple ways. Not just that night in the kitchen. In how you introduced me. In how you dismissed me. In how you changed things without telling me. You meant it. You just didn't expect me to agree. The typing bubble appears. Stays for a long time. Then, so there's nothing I can do. You can be a good co-parent. Consistent. Clear. Present for the kids without using them to get to me. That's it? That's everything. He doesn't respond. An hour later, another message. I'm sorry. For all of it. I know that doesn't change anything. But I need you to know. I don't respond. Because sorry without changed behavior is just noise. And I've learned to value silence over apologies that evaporate by morning. A month later, Malik asks if he can bring a friend to my place for his birthday. Of course. Who? Trevor. From basketball. Does Dad know Trevor? Yeah. His dad coaches. I send Damon a message on the app. Malik wants to bring Trevor to his birthday celebration at my place. Wanted to confirm you're okay with that. That's fine. Thanks for asking. When's your celebration with him? Taking him to Topgolf on my weekend. He's excited. 2 celebrations. 2 houses. 2 versions of normal. Different shapes. At Malik's party, he's loud and happy. He and Trevor are building something elaborate with blocks in the living room. Imani makes cupcakes with me. Gets frosting in her hair. It's small. Ordinary. And nobody looks sad. When Damon picks them up Sunday evening, Malik runs to the car talking about Topgolf. Damon smiles. Next weekend, buddy. Mark your calendar. He looks at me over Malik's head. They seem good. They are. You're doing a good job. So are you. He nods. Takes it as the compliment it is. Because it's true. He's been consistent. Clear. Present. The structure forced him into shape. Or maybe it just revealed the shape he could be when expectations were non-negotiable. Alana. Don't. He stops. We're good like this, I say quietly. Don't complicate it. He studies me for a moment. Then nods. Okay. He buckles the kids in. Drives away. I go back inside. The apartment is messy. Cupcake crumbs on the counter. Blocks scattered across the floor. Evidence of life. Of family. Just shaped differently now. I start cleaning up. My phone buzzes. Not the app. A regular text. From my sister. How was the party? Good. Really good. You sound different. Different how? Lighter. I look around the small apartment. At the evidence of the afternoon. At the space I've built that doesn't depend on someone else's approval. I am. Later, I open my notes app. Scroll back to that first entry. September 14th. 9:47 p.m. Kitchen. You're not family anymore. I don't delete it. But I do add something new. January 8th. Living room. Imani asks if we're still family. I say yes. She says family can be different shapes. She's right. I save it. Close the app. Because some documentation isn't about proving what happened. It's about remembering what you survived. And what you built after. When someone tells you you're not family, you have choices. You can argue the definition. You can beg for inclusion. Or you can build a family structure that doesn't require their permission. One that exists because of consistency, not status. Because of presence, not promises. Because of what you do, not what you're called. Damon calls the kids family now. Uses the word carefully. Like he's trying to reclaim it. But the word doesn't work the way it used to. It doesn't grant him access to my interior life. It doesn't erase the documentation. It doesn't undo the structure. It just means we're connected through people we both love. And maybe that's enough. Not for a marriage. But for a family. Different shapes. Same foundation. Built on something he couldn't strip away with a sentence. Clarity.